It's time to talk LSU football on the flagship home of the Tigers. Call 225-499-9898. It's Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Charles Hannegriff and Richard Dixon.
A resilient LSU team goes on the road and picks up a 17-10 win. Snap a 5-game losing streak in opening games, 3 of them under Brian Kelly, and the Tigers with a win against a top 5 opponent on the road. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Eagle 98.1 Game Day. I'm Charles Hannegriff, along with former Tiger Richard Dixon. Well, this one kept you on the edge of your seat right there till the end, with the Tigers hanging on in the final moments, turning back Clemson's final drive to hold on to this 17-10 victory. This one was one of those games where you could probably talk about it for 3 times the amount of time that we've got tonight. But here's what it looked like as we got going tonight from Memorial Stadium. The teams exchanged a couple of punts, and then LSU's only turnover of the night, a fumble by Bauer Sharp, set Clemson up in good field position at the LSU 24-yard line, and it was a 3-and-out. And Clemson had to settle for a field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Richard, I thought it was at that point, it ended up being a sign of things to come. That LSU's defense, we've been talking about it all month. The nation got to see it tonight. Yeah. This is a much better unit than they were a year ago, certainly miles better than the one they had 2 years ago. And this was one of a number of times tonight where they were put in a tough position and they responded, and Clemson, which has a fantastic offense, a very good quarterback, was not able to cash in with that turnover for more than a field goal.
This was our first step back into LSU football. I mean, it was nice to have a night where you could rely on your defense to make a play. I mean, you don't have to score on every possession. You trust your defense, and those guys play their ass off.
LSU was sloppy early. They had to burn a couple of timeouts, and a penalty wiped out a big run from Caden Durham, but the Tigers got creative in the run game. They got Xavion Thomas involved. They got Juwan Johnson involved. Also got Johnson involved in the pass game. And then Nussmeier started to settle in a little bit after having been pressured early. I thought in the first quarter, Rich, he was under some pressure. It looked like he was backing up a little bit, just trying to get his legs underneath him there early. And then they put together a drive that ended with a 53-yard Damian Ramos field goal that tied the game early in the second quarter.
I just think the LSU offense kind of started off a little stiff. I mean, we've talked all summer long about the amount of receivers they got and what we're going to do in the passing game. And we ran the ball 31 times tonight. And, our traditional run game was still kind of stuck in the mud, but I was very excited to see the creative ways we got into it.
Following possession, Clemson put together their best drive of the night. They drove 75 yards for a touchdown, and it was the only time in the game that Klubnik really hurt them with his feet. Then they ran a pick play on 4th down and 2. The flag was waved off because the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. It was a proper call. It set up 1st and goal inside the 2-yard line after a Harold Perkins sack. If you're listening on the radio, I'm smiling when I say Harold Perkins sack. Knocked him back to the 14-yard line. Klubnik found Tyler Brown down to the 2, and Clemson powered it in on 4th down for a 10-3 lead. The final drive of the first half saw LSU use a trick play, a reverse pass to Aaron Anderson that got him down into the red zone. But some poor clock management, not calling their final timeout. Again, they had burned too early, and they really could have used them down there. With 35 seconds left, let the clock run down way too far. LSU got to 4th and 2 from the 11 with 9 seconds to go and decided to go for it. They looked confused. They ended up taking the final timeout. They looked confused out of the timeout. The play, which was a little spot pass to Chris Hilton, never really had a chance. He would have had to slip at least 1 tackle, if not 2. And even if he had done that, I'm not sure LSU gets up, spikes it, and is in position. The clock would have stopped if he'd slipped a tackle and made the first down. But I thought it was a series of low percentage plays. Letting the clock run down that far, I didn't think was the best idea. I thought if they had called timeout with 34 seconds to go, they could have controlled it a little bit better, probably gotten off at least 1, if not 2 or 3 more plays. And then asking Hilton to bust a tackle there, and he's not going to get to the end zone. Then you got to get up, you got to get it spiked, and then do you have time to run another play and then still kick a field goal if it's not? I thought the play there, but when they got down to 9 seconds, I'd have called timeout at the 34-second mark, but when they got down to 9 seconds, I thought, you know what, take the field goal, get out of here 10-6. I mean, you're controlling the yardstick. You're not outclassed here at all. You look like the better team. You've just had some, you just had some bad plays here go against you. Kick the field goal and go to break 10-6, and they didn't do that.
100%. And look, that's a decision made based off of the last 2 years. I'd understand when we got to score in every situation. We're not trusting our defense. I think when he looks back at the game film on this one, he's like, look, we can trust this defense. We can play behind this defense. Let's go ahead and take the points when we can get them.
The second half belonged to LSU. After Clemson missed a field goal on the opening drive, LSU went 69 yards in 8 plays to tie the score. They were looking at 1st and 20 after a holding penalty backed them up at the beginning of the drive, but Nussmeier hit Aaron Anderson for a middle screen for 49 yards, and then a ball to the end zone for Trey'Dez Green. I'm smiling again. Drew the second pass interference penalty that they had guarding him on the night. Durham took it in from there, and LSU tied the score. And then it seemed like the momentum was really with LSU when they turned Clemson over on the next possession. Mansour Delane picked Cade Klubnik. The pressure got to him. He sailed a pass. Delane picked it off. LSU was in good position. And then what looked like the throw and catch of the night, Garrett Nussmeier to Barrion Brown on a play that was originally ruled 1st and goal at the half-yard line, and then LSU trying to hurry to the line of scrimmage. And I thought that was the play because I'm thinking to myself, did he get in real time now?
Yeah.
The first time I saw it, did he get a foot down? Did he have control of the ball? I mean, it's on the near side, so you shield it a little bit. I'm thinking, get up and run a play, please. And then Fowler says, well, maybe they scored a touchdown. I thought, well, that never occurred to me that watching it in real time that he got inside the pylon. And, of course, you watch the replay, and he's got a foot down, inbounds, gets the ball in over the goal line. He hits the pylon, and he goes to the ground. Now, you catch the ball in the field of play. You secure it. You make the ever-controversial football move, okay? You break the plane of the goal line. He ran over the doggone pylon, okay? At that point, you no longer have to survive the ground for a catch, okay? This is not the Megatron play, okay? I did see that Des Bryant was tweeting about this in the postgame, which is funny if you remember that play.
I was playing for Lions in that
Green
play.
Bay. All right. Even the rules official in the booth thought this was a touchdown. This was a touchdown all day and all night. But LSU does not get, not only does LSU not get the call, but then they miss the field goal when Ramos cramps up a little bit. And so you didn't get the touchdown. You didn't get the ball on the half-yard line. You didn't get the field goal, and it's like, oh, crap.
I mean, that's a play that look, I'm very happy we won the game. We're not going to gripe on that play, but, I mean, that's a terrible call. I mean, if you are a running back and you're going over the line or over the goal line and they punch it out, it doesn't matter because it's crossed the plane.
Right.
It doesn't matter. So when you cross the plane, your knee hits it. I need a better explanation on that call from the SEC.
Yeah, and it's SEC officials too. Even though the game was in, your SEC officials with the road team. But LSU's defense, as they did time and time again tonight, they reversed the momentum again. They held Clemson to a 3-and-out, and LSU started the drive that would end up producing the winning points. But in the middle of this drive, the third quarter ended, and I looked down at the yardstick, and LSU at the end of the third quarter had a 306 to 170 advantage in yards. They had a significant advantage in first downs. They had held the ball most of the third quarter, but it was 10-10, and it felt like at the very least it should have been 20-10. Yeah. And that was the one time the whole night that I really felt uneasy. That I thought LSU was a better team in the first half, even though they were losing. I thought they were the better team, way better team in the third quarter. And I thought through 3 quarters, I said, you know what, LSU should be winning this game by more than they are. And a lot of times you see it. The team that is winning the yardstick is controlling the line of scrimmage, is controlling the time of possession. Doesn't have it on the scoreboard. Sometimes it's a turnover, sometimes it's penalties, whatever. But it was 10-10, and in my head, it should have been at least 20-10. And that's the only time I got a little bit uneasy about LSU winning this game.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a close game to where, I'm texting you, I feel like we were dominating the game. The defense was playing lights out, best defense we've seen at LSU in 5 years, maybe since 2019. And the offense just wasn't finishing drives. I mean, there were good plays. We were moving the ball. We just weren't getting in the end zone.
LSU finished the drive, 11 plays, 73 yards with a touchdown to Tre'Davious Green, who was being covered by somebody who was 8 inches shorter than him, at least 8 inches shorter than him. The sophomore tight end played a big role tonight. 2 PIs against him, the touchdown catch. And every time he's in the game, you got to figure he's got an advantage over just about anybody that's covered him.
No, I mean, I think he ended up with 2 or 3 catches, but he affected the game so much more with the 2 pass interferences. I mean, he's a guy that's going to create such mismatches that they're only going to have 2 options. I mean, either he catches the ball or you got to pass interfere him.
Some anxious moments down the stretch. LSU appeared to turn Clemson away on a 4th and 5, but the LSU sideline called timeout before the play, so they got to do it again. LSU would get out of that. Then they had to punt. The punt was down inside the 3-yard line, but P.J. Woodland couldn't quite corral it, so instead of pinning Clemson back down at the about the 3-yard line, they got it out at the 20. I thought Brian Kelly missed an opportunity there. It was a 4th and 5. You can go up to the you have absolutely nothing to lose by going up to the line of scrimmage there and trying to draw them off sides.
Yeah.
And you just miss that opportunity. If they don't jump, who cares? Call timeout and punt the football at that point. They missed that opportunity. The last drive, LSU had a sideways pass that ended up costing them 7 yards. They put them behind the sticks there, so they were not able to
that was
run the
the
clock
one
bad
there. Decision Nussmeier made that night.
Yeah, throwing that ball to
because
the 7-yard line.
He wanted to go deep. I mean, the play design was to go deep right there. He didn't have it. He panicked and threw that. That was the one mistake I think he had in the throwing game.
And then finally on Clemson's last drive, a couple of big plays. They get down to the 15-yard line. I don't know what Dabo Swinney was thinking at that point. If they had scored a touchdown, I'm going for 2.
Yeah.
Because I have been outplayed on my home field for most of this thing, and I'm damn lucky actually to be within a touchdown here. I'm going to try to win it with 1 play because I think the better team's on the other side tonight. And Clemson's a very good team. I thought LSU outplayed them, and yet the score was one possession there. If I'm Clemson and I score there, I'm going for 2.
I think 100% he goes for 2. I mean, he felt the pressure from LSU all night. Like LSU didn't necessarily light the scoreboard up on offense. They played the best defense we've had in years, but they were dominating the line.
We got this one right, okay, with the rotation up front of what LSU had. We expected them to have fresh legs in the fourth quarter. We expected them to be able to win a game with a pass rush in the fourth quarter. It wasn't the only reason they won tonight, but it was a big reason. And it would have been a real shame if LSU had lost this game because I felt like they outplayed Clemson most of the night. I felt like there were just a few plays away from really opening this thing up. It'd be a key conversion or an offsides, an official's call. The Orange team was in it a lot longer than I thought they should have been. Not that LSU should have run them off the field or anything like that, but I felt like LSU was the better
game should
team.
have been 24-10. I mean, that's the score
something
of the
along
game.
24-10 would have been, I thought, about right. The Tigers found enough running game. I thought Caden Durham ran with patience. I thought he ran with vision. It's not like LSU's offensive line was blowing Clemson off the ball 5 yards every time, but they did a good enough job. And I think they got better as the game went along. Tre'Davious Green is a difference maker, and the screen game showed up. We haven't seen a ton of that from Kelly's teams, but we certainly saw it tonight. The offensive line wasn't perfect, but that's a really, really good front 7 for Clemson, and I thought they got better as the game went along. But the story on the other side, LSU's new look defense, as advertised, they held Clemson to 261 yards and only 31 on the ground. There was essentially no running game for Clemson. Klubnik had the one drive where he made a couple of nice scrambles and a couple of design runs, but that was it. Fresh legs in the fourth quarter. LSU showed poise in a rough environment, and that win right this second looks like the toughest game on LSU's schedule. I saw at least some of every other team that LSU will play today, and I didn't see anybody that was definitely better than Clemson. And certainly, you went into their stadium and you won this game, despite the fact that you certainly weren't perfect.
Yeah.
I feel if these teams play again, LSU beat the crap out of them. I really do. I think that they are. You didn't see, Rich, these things that we've seen the last couple of years where it's really glaring. Receivers running wide open.
Didn't see it tonight.
Quarterbacks with all kind of time to throw the football. Quarterbacks running these huge gash plays. You didn't see that. I thought LSU ran the ball well enough tonight. The quarterback sneaks. How many games we sit in here and say, what are you doing in a shotgun on 3rd down and 1, 4th down and 1? Get under center and stick your nose in there and get it. There he is, Quaker Zero, big as Dallas, Texas, twice.
He got 10 yards on his own read.
Yeah.
He pulled it.
Yeah. Just give me a little bit of that. That's 3 runs. That's plenty.
Yeah.
Okay? That's par. Give me those 3 runs. Use the tight ends. Okay? Well, they obviously used Mason Taylor a year ago, but now you played a lot of – you were surprised with how much 31 personnel they used.
I mean, the amount of times they were getting in 3 tight ends is because, look, Trey Green, call him a tight end, he can break all the records. I don't care. But he was playing wide receiver most of the night. You bring Bauer in. It's hard for a defense to scheme up, what they're going to put in certain personnels when you got that many guys that are playing. Bauer Sharp went out wide. Trey went out wide. You kept Donovan Green in. You're playing with 3 tight ends and getting so many different mismatches that it makes it tough on the defense.
That's our opinion. What is yours? 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. LSU wins at 17-10. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Get it figured out here in a second, man. When you get all new gear in here, you get all new toys that they buy you in the off season. Sometimes everything doesn't fit.
The headphones are nice.
The headphones are nice. The cords are too long. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. And let's see, where are we starting? Michael, just shout it out to me. Just go ahead. Where at? Richard. All right, Richard, go ahead. Welcome to Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Or not. Nick, welcome into the show.
Good show tonight, man. I'm just going to ask a quick question, then I'll hang up and listen for the response. I only got to watch half the game, but I was working, and I came back and watched the highlights of the second half. And really looking at defensive schemes, see what they've been doing differently. Quick question. Can you all explain the rules of football?
There's a lot of them.
Yeah. I'd like to be able to explain the one where they caught the ball and ran over the pylon and didn't get a touchdown.
That one makes no sense. I mean, look, the main scheme of football is we had guys flying around, tackling guys, going after them. We were able to play man-to-man because we had some good secondary. It was really fun to see LSU defense get back into form.
The A.J. Halsey story, which dominated the end of the week, really ended up not being a factor at all. Jordan Gilbert was fine.
He played his butt off. I mean, he was in there later in the game. I mean, they went back to him. He played fine. And Halsey, when he got in there, he made some plays, but – this defense as a whole, all 11 guys, I think 15 guys that were ended up getting on there making plays, it gave you a different sense of, you don't have to win on offense.
Bernard Gooden was at number 88, as what we saw in practice. Yeah. I always feel bad when something we see in practice doesn't translate to the game. It's like, what were you watching? Gooden said the whole month of August.
He's fast. He's a guy that was
fast,
causing problems. He's getting in the backfield. We only ended up the night with 2 sacks, but I would like to see how many pressures we got because Clay Kubnick was moving and he wasn't throwing in rhythm.
They kept him uncomfortable most of the night. And again, in the fourth quarter, I thought that's where they won the game. We've seen time and time again where you let a team hang around like that, And then the last drive, they'll make a couple of plays, and all of a sudden you go, how did you lose that game? Well, they were not going to just sit there and let Cade Klubnik have time. They weren't going to play soft. They were going to come after him. And when Perkins got after him on the final play of the game, it was just the topper, because they had been doing that most of the second half.
They were able to, because you have Mansour Delane playing lockdown coverage. You had, P.J. Woodland, I think, played the lights out. When you get into what LSU's used to of play great man-to-man on the outside and let your playmakers and athletes make plays on the inside, and I feel like that's where we're getting back to.
499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. Richard is in Houma. Richard, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good.
What a night, huh?
It
Best
was
night in 5
a lot
years.
of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Best opening night in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No doubt. I've been to the last 4 away games, and I decided I think I'm going to stay at my house this year,
Keep staying home.
Yeah, I'm going to stay at the house, brother. I'm going to stay at the house, man. Look, guys, I know you commented already. I was a little frustrated. We didn't take the points in the end of the half, especially with the last 4 years, right? I mean, I think we need to take the points. But our defense is playing great, no doubt, man. It's fun to watch them fly around. But just a little frustrated we didn't take the points. But, man, it was just great to watch us perform on the road tonight. And looking forward to seeing us move forward the rest of the year, guys. And appreciate all you do. Look forward to hearing from you the rest of the year.
Thanks, Richard. I would have preferred they took the points too, but I was more frustrated with the clock management before that. So the ball is complete down to the 12-yard line with 37 seconds to go. I think I said 34 earlier. It's 37 seconds. I checked the box score. They don't run another play until there's 15 seconds to go. That's 22 seconds. Now, if you call a timeout with 37, or let's just say 35, let's give them 2 seconds. How many plays can you run between that and the end of the half if you call the final timeout there? If you can throw balls to the end zone, you can throw balls to the boundary, you can throw balls away. You're so much in more command of that. Now you got to convert the third down, but I thought you limited the amount of plays, and I wasn't wild about the play call because I thought you were asking Chris Hilton to do a lot. And he, like I said, even they complete that ball with 9 seconds to go, or he goes down with 9 seconds to go. Again, let's say he slips a tackle. He gets down to the 5-yard line. So let's say it takes another 3 seconds, to get the clock stopped after he goes down. So now you're down to 5 or 6 seconds to go. So you're telling me LSU, who had enough problems coming out of the timeout getting set up, are going to go to the line, spike the ball, then run another play to the end zone, and then, if that doesn't work, have time to kick a field goal. I don't buy it. I thought they missed out on an opportunity there to just go ahead and kick the field goal. But if you're going to go for it, if your intention is to go for it, then I think you should have called timeout a lot sooner than they did, which was with 15 seconds to go.
I mean, it was frustrating. And look, even if he gets the first down, don't forget he fumbled the ball. We got rid of the ball in that possession. But, yeah, it was one of those things that it almost feels like to me he was talked into going for it. Like he had a game plan to save that timeout, call the timeout, and kick the field goal. But they get in that situation. You see, Nussmeier going crazy, the whole offense going crazy. I almost feel like he was talked into going for it on that one.
Well, fine. If you're going to do that, don't let 22 seconds bleed off the clock.
Yeah.
You went for it last year on the first drive against USC. You didn't make it. You went for it on the fourth down on the first drive against Florida State the year before. You didn't make it. His first season in the Superdome, they get down. They're playing second and goal from the 5, and they got the bad snap, ran them all the way back almost to the 20. So they kicked the field goal there, but only because they lost the 15 yards. They're going for it there too. It's not analytics; it's clock management that I had the problem with.
I agree.
At the end of that first half. 499-9898 is the number to call. Let's see who's next. Bo is in New Orleans. Bo, welcome into the show on the Hooters Hotline.
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you for allowing me in. Sitting in the backyard, poured a nice drink, lit a cigar. It feels like we've turned the corner in the Brian Kelly era. We finally have a roster that is full from top to bottom in all of the areas, and it feels different. It feels different. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and I watched a lot of football today.
I saw a quarterback in purple and gold today that looks different than everybody else I saw around college football today. So this is going to be one to enjoy. I think this is going to be a great season for us to move forward and just get on the ride. We've had a lot to complain about in the last 3 years, and finally, Kelly moved past trying to build this roster from high school classes, and they spent the money, they went and grabbed the kids, and this feels good. So the last few coaches, we didn't have to wait very long. We had to wait a little bit longer here. This feels good. So I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait for this season. And one thing I want to tell you guys and let y'all comment on, there were some players today that I don't think had an impact on the game that I think will have a huge impact this season, including Hilton and maybe a couple other receivers and some other guys. But to go on the road, win a top 5 matchup at Clemson, and roll this into the season, this feels different. So feels good, guys.
Thanks, Bo. What'd you think of Nussmeier tonight?
I thought he played really poised, played pretty safe. He was taking care of the ball. He wasn't forcing anything. He was hitting his check downs. I think he just played a very mature game. And to his last point, I mean, yeah, there's 100%. I feel like, if you'd have told me that we were winning this game and Chris Hilton and Nick Anderson were going to be non-factors, would have surprised me.
Yeah, those are two, and they'll definitely be factors. And there'll be games where Nussmeier is not under this much pressure. I think this offensive line will get better. I thought they got better.
2 hurries and 1 sack. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I thought they got better in this game. Go back and watch the first couple of drives, which I plan to do tomorrow when we wake up. But I thought, I wrote it in my notes, I thought he was falling backwards a little bit, that he was kind of on his heels because he was concerned about the pressure. I didn't see that in the second half. You take a kid like Harlem Berry, who I think is going to be a contributor later in the season. He only had 1 touch tonight, but I feel like in November that'll be another weapon that they have. They don't feel like a one-trick pony, that there's depth everywhere. There's a lot of different ways that they can beat you. Like the boxer can knock you out with either hand. And this is you saw Alabama. At breakfast this morning, it was, what are the 2 toughest games on LSU's schedule? Clemson and Alabama. I feel real good about that. Yeah. Okay, 14 hours later, they just beat Clemson, and I saw Alabama play today. It was not inspiring at all.
It's a team. I mean, look, it is so much relief that you don't feel like you have to score on every drive. For the past couple of years, I feel like if we punted the ball, we're putting ourselves in a bad situation. And right now, it's nice to see Nussmeier, and I think it's going to get better as the season goes on because he's realizing the pressure's not on him anymore. He's got a defense that can make stops. That's going to keep him in the game, and they're allowed to progress throughout this.
You remember Steve Young won his Super Bowl? He threw the invisible monkey off of his back. He's like, I got that. This feels like they got that monkey off their back. They won a game in the fourth quarter against a good team on the road in the opener. Yeah, it feels really good. Kelton is in Birmingham. Kelton, welcome into the show on the Hooters Hotline.
What's going on, gentlemen? It's Keaton.
I'm sorry, Keaton. Excuse me.
Keaton?
Yeah, what's going on, gentlemen? I want to apologize to the chat first. I'm Brambo in the chat. Everybody in the chat, I have been negative Nancy all off season. I was the main one bickering. I was the main one saying, man, I'm not believing in BK no more. I wasn't buying the hype. I wasn't trying to hear it. I had nothing nice to say, nothing positive. I didn't think we were going to win this game at all. I was just more concerned about beating Florida because I felt like that was more of an important game to win. I was dead wrong. I want to apologize to the chat. I got a big 20-piece of lemon pepper fried crow. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure you season it properly. Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes wonderful. So it's a great win. They look awesome on defense. Perkins and Witt, they are playmakers. That was an excellent tackle by Witt on the QB draw. That probably really was one of the biggest plays of the game. Was that tackle that he made on Cade Klubnik to stop that, because it was open. It was definitely going to be a first down, if not more. man, they flew around. They look good, man. That looked like LSU football. And it's definitely good to see. Now you just got to go and win week 3 because Florida gets 2 cupcakes to build their confidence up with. And they're going to come in and think that they're going to be motivated. So you got to go out and win that one, establish the home game, go out and beat Ole Miss. And then, yeah, I think this team can make a run. We definitely aren't worried about going to Tuscaloosa anymore. Well, I don't think that was a fluke. They're just not good anymore.
Keaton, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. We'll give you a pass on the negative stuff. I picked Clemson in this game too. Yeah. I thought there was a good chance that LSU could win, but if you ask me, pin me down for a prediction, which they do every week. So, well, I think Clemson's going to win a close game. Was delighted to be wrong about that.
We've had 4 years of terrible defense, and we've heard about all the pieces they brought in, and we've talked about it, and we said offense. Defense looks great in the scrimmages, looks great in practice, but until you see it in live action in the game, there's still a big question, and I think they answered my biggest question of the year.
499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. We'll take a break, come back with more of your phone calls. LSU wins it tonight, 17-10. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. LSU wins it tonight, 17-10. Hooters hotline is open at 499-9898. Kerry is in Chicago. Kerry, welcome into the show.
Gentlemen, thank you.
If Kerry?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Go ahead.
I'm hearing drums in the background.
Go ahead.
Real quick, I'm calling you about the missed touchdown tonight. First question about it: what was worse, tonight's missed touchdown or the missed Patrick Peterson interception in 2009 in Tuscaloosa?
They were equally bad missed calls because they were both missed off a replay. You miss a call in real time, okay, that happens. When you have the opportunity to go back and look at it on replay, see it, run it back in slow motion, take all the time that you need, and you still miss it, that's bad. I have not worn the Patrick Peterson interception the way a lot of people have. Yeah, they missed the call. I just never believed that LSU was going to win that game anyway. If that interception had stood, I did not think that they were going to drive the field on Alabama. I didn't think they were going to win. We'll never know. If they had lost that game tonight because of that play, there'd still be steam coming out of my ears.
So do you think the NCAA or the SEC will make some kind of statement on the missed call? Is it, because to me it's a rules, it's a rule book issue. I mean, he crossed the plane. He hit the pylon.
Yeah,
it's clearly a touchdown. To me, it seems like it would be worthy of some sort of statement from the NCAA.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They do that from time to time. It's got to be really, really bad. They will admit a mistake, and they'll do it publicly. I don't know if they will or not here.
I don't see them doing it. I feel like they'd have done it if it was a loss. I mean, there would have been so much pressure for them that they felt like they had to, but I don't think they'd comment on it now.
Yeah. Thankfully, it ended up not costing LSU the game. Jules is in New Mexico. Jules, welcome into the show. Jules? 3? Jules? Nope. No Jules? No Jules. All right, let's try Matt, who's still at Clemson. Matt, welcome in the show.
Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah, go ahead.
Live.
All right. I ain't got no questions for you. I just want to say, whenever y'all go up to Baton Rouge on Saturday next week, go ahead, shake Scott Woodward's hand, throw Mike the Tiger a treat, kiss your feet, do whatever you got to do. I just left that stadium. That's the most inefficient system I've ever experienced in my life. It takes you 2 hours to get in there. They got cockroaches all over the visitor section. You can't hear, oh, man. The speaker quality is terrible. I mean, the speaker's cutting out every 5 minutes. While the band goes quiet. They don't even play music. So all I can say is thank God you're a Baton Rouge Tiger fan, and don't even make a trip up here if it ever comes again. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a good night.
All right. Thanks a bunch. Clemson is not that big. Okay, you're talking about minus the university. You're talking about if you pull the university enrollment and faculty. Well, no, the faculty is considered permanent residents, but they don't count the students as full-time residents. So if you have that enrollment pulled out, which is I think it's 22,000 undergrads, you have a city that's about the size, a little bit bigger than Gonzales. Okay, so imagine if LSU were in Gonzales instead of in Baton Rouge. It's not that big.
Yeah.
And so there's not that many ways in and out of it. It's hard to get. Jimmy told me about that because he'd been there to visit with his son when his son was shopping colleges, and he said, "Look, man, it's just you're trying to put 80,000 people into a very small town. It's going to be hard to get in and out of there." Now, I didn't know about the stadium stuff. I've never set foot in that stadium.
It's just nice to hear that someone's complaining about the
Somebody
traffic
else.
in another state
Right.
other than Baton Rouge.
Hard to get in and out. 499-9898 is the number. Coach is in Youngsville on the Hooters hotline. Coach, welcome into the show.
Evening. Oh, there we go. Good evening, gentlemen. We are back. We are so back on the line. I'm so glad to have you guys. Congratulations on the new equipment. That looks fantastic. A couple of questions for you. Actually, the first one, though, is for your partner. Everybody's asking about your hat, man. What's that hat? Where you got that hat?
That's the Pelicans, man. That's the Central Baseball League. That's Trey McClure, Tanner McClure. It's a local Central Baseball organization.
Love it. That's awesome. Listen, a couple of questions before we get to the whiskey recommendation, like we always do. How, after so much concentration and so much preparation, concentration on preparation from Kelly and the staff since the bowl game, how can we be so ill prepared out of 2 timeouts in the first half to the point where we run absolutely mind-boggling plays and or almost get the delayed game out of the timeout? How is that possible for a coaching staff? Don't take anything away from the win. Don't take anything away from the boys, because the boys won the game. But how is it possible to be paid millions of dollars and be as ill-prepared as we appear on a consistent basis?
Rich, tell me about first games and the whole mechanics of getting in and out of timeouts, running through the script, special teams, all of these things that we call it working the kinks out. Tell me about the first game missteps.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be a few things because you're trying to figure out which guys are playing in which situations, which guys are going in which personnels. And I really think that that's where the problem fell tonight is we've talked all, summer and fall long about having so many weapons, having, 5 different receivers, 3 tight ends, multiple running backs. These guys are still not sure, what is their role. I mean, usually, you get into midseason, when a situation shows up, I know they're going to me. I know I'm coming in to do this, or I know which set's going to be in, which formation, which personnel. I think they were still trying to figure it out. I mean, you saw it with Barry Brown. I forget which series it was. He gets on the line and goes in motion. There's so many mismatches of who's going to be in and which. Was that Xavier Thomas that was running that play earlier? I think it's a lot of times just trying to figure out, what the personnel is. And I think that the mismatch and mixed matching of it all can cause some confusion.
Buffalo Trace, if you want to, he was looking for a whiskey recommendation.
It's always a good one.
It's a very, very, very solid. By the way, this is not exclusive to LSU. We saw some of this all throughout the day in college football. Some sloppy offense, some the game mechanics that don't always flow. And LSU in the first quarter ends up coming out of a timeout, running a pretty conservative play on third, and I think it was 11. Clemson did the same thing. 2 drives later. Now, it wasn't out of a timeout, but they were trying to figure out what they were going to run on third and 10 or 11, and they end up running a basic run play as well. Neither one of them came anywhere close to picking up the conversion.
You talk about just live game reps. I mean, you can do this in practice all day long until the pressure's put on you and the play clock's going and the lights are going. These guys still got to figure it out, and that's why you see. I mean, traditionally when we talk about this, people play a lot of cupcakes in the first week to work all these wrinkles out. For LSU, we haven't had those games.
In the future, though, Go back and listen.
Wouldn't mind it.
We'll go back and listen to the pregame. We did an interview with Scott Woodward, and he was like, okay, we still want to play these games, like against Clemson. We just don't want to play them in week 1.
You want to work some things out.
All right, yeah. Brian is in Central Arkansas on the Hooters hotline. Brian, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my phone call.
Sure.
Real quick, before I go into what happened tonight, Henny, did I just hear you say that you did not think that with that interception or at any point that LSU was not capable of winning that game in 09? I remember seeing, paint jobs on those guys' face masks, faces saying number 1 defense, and I think you happen to be right now right beside you in the presence of the great number 18, Richard Dixon, on that team. And if I recall, Richard never felt like they ever walked into a game that they were going to lose.
I didn't like when he said that either.
But that's besides the point.
No, I did not. No, I didn't think that they did not have a chance to win the game. I was asked for a pick on the game. I thought Clemson would win a close game because they were at home. If the game would have been in Baton Rouge, I'd have picked LSU. I thought it was a very even matchup. And as it turned out, LSU was much more advanced than Clemson in this game, I thought, the score notwithstanding. So I was pleasantly surprised. I thought that they played with a lot of poise and a lot of resiliency, and I'm delighted. I think that I think it's going to be a real exciting season. Is that it? Okay. Let's try Joel in New Mexico. Joel, welcome into the show.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Good.
Hey, the first thing is Blanton's is the best whiskey that there is.
Yeah, if you can find it, it's really good.
Yeah,
Not the easiest thing
a few
to find.
things. Don't you think LSU should force the ball more to Green? And secondly, if you guys got the number 1 pick in your fantasy football, are you taking Barkley, Chase, or Jefferson? Go Tigers.
All right. Well, as it turns out, I did have the number 1 pick in my draft, and I took Chase.
Hey,
First of all, I'm not going to take a Falcon if I've got a choice. And I think Saquon had the mother of all years last year, over 400 touches. I think he'll have a big year again, but it'd be hard pressed to replicate that. And I've seen the Bengals defense. They're going to be behind all year, so they're going to have to throw the football. So I took Chase.
Chase Jefferson's a pretty solid pick.
Yeah. I like Chase's quarterback better.
Yeah.
The Trey'Dez Green, they certainly made a point of trying to get him the ball.
That's what I mean. I kind of don't understand what he was saying. I feel like we did try to force the ball to him tonight. We went after him a few different times to where Trey'Dez still look, he's a freak. He's still learning. I would say that I was slightly a little bit disappointed when we did go after him. He's a big, strong, physical guy. He's got to play a little bit stronger. He lets those DBs get in his grill, get in his hands, gets him off pace. When you're 6'7", 240, you got to manhandle those guys a little bit better.
The route that was the ball was a little bit behind him because I think what Herb Street was saying was he expected this was in the second half. He was supposed to
settle down. I mean, it's when you chase zone, you're sitting in zone coverage, you're supposed to sit down. You press it and you break out versus man. That's one of those games where he's still learning because Nussmeier fully expected him to sit down, and he was throwing at his inside shoulder to get him up the field. When he was reading man coverage and still coming out of the break, is just something that.
So it's a misread for Green, not for.
No,
Nussmeier.
that was on the Green. Not
and it looks like Nussmeier's throwing the ball behind him, but he's throwing the ball where Green's supposed to.
He's supposed to sit down in the gap.
Gotcha. 499-9898 is the number to call on the Hooters hotline. We'll take a break. Be back with more of your phone calls. LSU wins at 17-10. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Eagle 98.1 Game Day continues. LSU wins at 17-10. I misunderstood the caller when he said I didn't think that LSU was going to win that game in 2009. I didn't. I'm sorry. Maybe we'll never know if they give Peterson the interception. LSU was within one score, but I didn't have a lot of confidence that they were going to. You didn't play in that game. It's the only game you missed your entire career, right?
It's the only SEC game I missed my entire career, and it was one that, D'Angelo Peterson had a nice touchdown for a tight end in there, and it was a game that was close. But that was a play that the momentum was starting to turn, and it halted it.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. LSU would have had to go about 60 yards. There was less than 6 minutes to go in the game when LSU did get the ball back. They threw an interception, but they were down 2 scores at that point. We'll never know. I'm I know they won tonight. Let's let's go with that one. Brady is in Gonzales. Welcome to the show, Brady, on the Hooters Hotline.
Hey, Charles.
How
Hey,
you doing?
Richard. How y'all doing, guys?
Good.
I thought that the defense pumped me up tonight. It's the best defense that we've seen in years. I thought Nuss played well. I think Aaron Anderson is a dog. Man, Aaron Anderson is a dog. And I think we'll be okay. Our defense showed us something tonight, and our offense will pick us up throughout the year. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Rich, you were talking about Aaron Anderson during the break.
He's our best offensive weapon right now. I mean, he's a guy that just so shifty. He gets open. He's a guy that Nuss trusts. He's a guy that where he goes to on big plays. And he's a clutch player. I mean, he's one of the guys when the ball goes up in the air and you know he's involved, you feel very confident he's going to make the play.
I'm excited about the defense, but I'm really excited about the pass rush. They have some unique pieces there. Gooden is a smaller but lightning fast defensive tackle. He's extremely active. Pass rushers as defensive tackles, you don't always have those guys. In fact, more often than not, you don't have a guy like that. They have an 8-man rotation across the front. That means fresh legs to me. And then you have Perkins, who I was so excited to see tonight that I forgot to be mad that they wasted 2 years of him being stuck inside. And then you have Weeks. So, one of the earlier callers brought up the play he made on Klubnik on that.
He shut the blocker and comes off the inside.
He came on a number of blitzes tonight. I said this in the pregame show. I'm going to end up saying it more times here. Win a game with a pass rush in the fourth quarter when the idea that you can come back against LSU when they've got a lead, it's going to be uber difficult because they're going to be able to pin their ears back. Kelly said it in the post game. He says, listen, we were able to take the run game away. We'd be able to put them in some predictable down and distance situations. And I think that if LSU goes to the fourth quarter with leads, especially 2-score leads, they are going to be extremely difficult to come back on. And those are the toughest losses to get over. The ones where you got the lead in the fourth quarter and somebody comes back on you. And, boy, look, Clemson at home tonight, they get down to the 15-yard line. They get one ball to the end zone, a 2-point conversion, and you're out. But that pass rush, the fourth down, Klubnik doesn't even really get the ball off. I mean, he threw it, but it was nowhere near anybody. That's what's exciting to me. I think that this is a multifaceted pass rush. And, man, that's just invaluable.
And we're talking about Weeks. We're talking about Perkins and Goodwin. The guy that probably showed up the most for me tonight that didn't record very many stats was Patrick Payton. He got back there a lot. He was always causing problems. He was making Klubnik move his feet. He couldn't just drop back and sit in the pocket. I mean, the guys that got after him, he was never just very comfortable sitting back there and looking for a receiver.
499-9898 is the number on the Hooters hotline. Ross is in Bunkie. Ross, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Obviously glad we got the win tonight. However, admittedly, I was in a bit of an early season melt mode at the end of first half sequence there. And as I'm sitting there at halftime, I'm thinking to myself, I come to this conclusion, would love to get your guys' thoughts. I think that Brian Kelly is in a bit of an identity crisis since he got to LSU, because I don't know if we see the end of first half, fourth down play call. And in the past years, we've seen that fourth down play call whenever Brian Kelly was at Notre Dame. And I think in his mind, the LSU coach needs to be this gut feel coach because it worked for Coach O in 2019. Conversely, we see in the fourth quarter, to me, it looked like a Les Miles version of offense. I know the defense is playing great. Shout out to the defense. But we don't need Coach Kelly to be Les Miles. We don't need him to be Coach O. Love him just to be Coach Kelly and take the points there. But glad we got the monkey off our back and got the first game win. I want to get y'all's thoughts and what y'all thought about that end of first half sequence.
Richard, I made my thoughts on it. What did you think of that?
To me, it was a play call based off he didn't realize the defense he had yet. Like, we've talked about it. In years past, when we felt like we needed to get a touchdown in every scoring opportunity, we needed to make the big play. We didn't want to put the game back on our defense. I think this was early on. The defense was playing good, but, I mean, that's just based off of the last 3 years. You felt like you had to get 7 in every opportunity. I think going forward, once he sees what his defense was able to do, they shut him out in the second half. He knows he can rely on those guys, and that 3 is just as good.
Yeah, and again, going back to it, I thought they should have called timeout with 34 seconds to go. I thought that if you're going to go for it, you really need to throw the ball into the end zone, because I don't know if you've got time to set up and get not another quality play. They might have got the ball snapped, but again, if Hilton slips a tackle there and makes 3 more yards and makes the first down, they are going to be really hard pressed to get off another quality play. And if you get off another play, I don't know that you're certainly not guaranteed to have enough time if it falls incomplete to get, to have
the next play
time.
would have been 4 receivers to the right and put Trey Green to the left and throw it up at him again. I mean,
okay. And how long does that take?
4 seconds.
You might have had 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay, it was going to be really close. That's what I'm saying. You're not guaranteed to have that. So I wasn't wild about the operation. I can live with going for it on 4th down, but if they convert there, it's still a very low percentage that if Hilton makes the first down, it's a very low percentage that they're going to get up and get a quality play and score.
No, 100%. I mean, I'm in the mindset of if you're going for it, go for the end zone.
Yeah, at that point. But again, I thought that they had an opportunity to call timeout earlier and get more plays off. Carter is in Hammond. Carter, welcome into the show on the Hooters Hotline.
Thanks for letting me talk to y'all. I just want to say LSU looked like a top 5 team. They dominated in all parts of the game except in the turnovers. But I don't know where Tamarcus Cooley was at, and I don't think they utilized Nick Anderson as much. And Jawan Johnson, he looked really good with his 8 touches. Harold Perkins getting 2 sacks off his ACL, and P.J. Woodland, very good disruptor there in the defensive game. But overall, great game by LSU. Thank you all.
Rich?
No, I agree. P.J. Woodland's a guy that I've been talking about a lot last year. He's a guy that's just going to make some plays. Harold Perkins was back to form. He's out there running with his hair on fire. But, the defense to me is just the biggest relief for me.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the defense fly around, letting them make stops, not feeling like every possession you have to score. We used to end with Jimbo Fisher. As long as every possession ends in a kick, we're good. I feel like we're back to that.
As far as the rankings go, it depends on what Notre Dame does tomorrow night against Miami. Ohio State's going to be number 1 in the country on Monday. I'm as certain as or Tuesday, because they're going to wait for the Monday night game, I guess, to put the rankings out. But I'm as certain as I can be that Ohio State's going to be number 1. I think Penn State will probably remain number 2. And I think it's probably LSU 3. It could be Georgia. It could be if Notre Dame beats Miami, or if they beat Miami soundly on the road tomorrow night, then it's probably Notre Dame. They're top 5 for sure. They're going ahead of Texas. They're going ahead of Alabama. I think they'll probably jump Oregon just on the basis of the quality of win. They should probably jump Georgia on the basis of quality of win as well. Penn State had gotten almost as many first-place votes as Texas in the AP poll, so I think they'll probably stay in front of them. And Ohio State will be number 1 because they beat Texas. 3 or 4 is my guess, and maybe bump down 1 more spot if Notre Dame is impressive tomorrow night against Miami.
Yeah,
that's my best guess. 499-9898 is the number to call, and we go back to the phone lines. And Josh is in Harvey. Josh, welcome into the show. Josh?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's up, Rich?
What's going on?
What's up, brother? I played with Marlon Faber out there at West Jefferson High School.
There you go.
What's up, bro? What's up, man? So this team looks like they're ready to play, bro. They do. They look like they're ready to play. Defense looks good. Offense, looks decent, but I don't know about the play calling. What do you think?
I went back and forth on this all night. Like, and for every good play call, I thought there was a bad play call. I think they played a little bit more conservative, but this offense is going to get better the more they understand who they are. They come into this game, and we've talked about it, all summer, all camp, the amount of weapons that they have. Well, they still got to figure out who are going to be the guys on every down situations. I thought the traditional run game was struggling, but where we combated that with a creative run game, and I thought the creative run game was really well.
They kept at it in the run
31
game.
rushes.
31 carries against 39 passes, and you were behind for pretty much most of the first half and into a good bit of the second half. So it's easy to abandon the run. There were times where I was like, okay, just let Nussmeier, take over this game. And if you do that, sometimes you put your quarterback in a bad position. I thought they kept after it. I thought Durham had some very patient runs. I thought that there were times tonight where he reminded me a little bit, just at times, of Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
You remember the old Pittsburgh back who was a extremely patient runner, and I thought he got what he could. It's not like LSU's offensive line was just blowing Clemson off the ball. There's 2 first-round picks over there. So I thought they did a good job of that. I thought that Sloan got creative in the run game, using Xavier Thomas, using Jawan Johnson, using Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, he had 3 runs tonight, okay? 2 quarterback sneaks, both for first downs, and that one where he pulled it.
The design of the
there's
first,
actually 4. I'm sorry, but those were the 3 that I noticed.
The design of the very first quarterback sneak I thought was brilliant. The way that they lined up in shotgun, they go to make it look like he's checking the play. If you go back and watch that, the D-line was standing up, the linebacker was looking back. When he walked up to the line, everybody took an inhale. Everybody took a breath, started having conversation, and then the quick snap. I thought it was a great play.
And it looked like they went on a silent count.
Yeah.
And so he's going on pressure, and he only needed half a yard.
Yeah.
We have – I want to say good job, guys. So we've been complaining about this for years. Every
10-yard carry.
3rd down and 1, you're in the shotgun, and you're handing the ball off to a flat-footed back 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, or worse yet, on 4th down. Well, why don't you just get up under center and go? Okay, well, they did that tonight. There's 2 key first downs.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Joe Sloan was very creative. We ran a lot of misdirection where with the entire flow of the game going left, sneaking it back out to the right. Even in the pass game, I thought we got very creative. There was very good play calls. My issue was in the traditional run game. We ran into some bad numbers. I mean, there was one of the plays in the first quarter. It was Durham on a run, and everybody blocked who they had, but we ran into numbers. I mean, we didn't have enough people there to block it. So the issues I had were there were some called run plays into some bad looks.
499-9898 is the number to call in the Hooters hotline. Jules is in Abbeville. Jules, welcome into the show.
Hey there, nice to have you fellas back. Very happy with the defense that I saw tonight. I don't know who most of them are yet, but that's okay. They played LSU defense tonight. I hope Caden can hold up. I hope he doesn't have to take that kind of beating every game, because I'm sure he's going to be sore all week long. And I do, like everybody, have some problems with the play calling, but especially the last 2 times we got the ball at the end of the game when we were up by 7, and I kept seeing Clemson coming down, scoring and going for 2, and I thought they were awfully conservative. Both of the last times they got the ball, I don't think they made a first down on either possession. So that was, to me, they looked like they weren't trying to win. They were trying not to lose at that point. But anyway, much improved. I didn't think that they were going to win going in either, but all around a good effort. Thanks.
I'm going to disagree with the last about the last two possessions. I thought they were. It's not like they were putting the ball in harm's way, but they weren't just lining up and running it right into the line.
They ran
either.
A pass play on first down.
Yeah,
screen to the.
Well, that was the last drive. So go back to the second to last drive. This is with 4.5 minutes to go, and they got a touchdown lead. Your 4-minute offense here. Well, the second play was the bubble to Johnson for 9 yards. The third play was a bubble to Johnson for 7 yards. The fourth play was a bubble to Johnson for 3 yards. And then they get 1st and 10 at the Clemson 45. And I'm sorry, it was 4.5 minutes when they finished. The drive was 4.5 minutes long. There was, when they threw the ball to Barry Brown for the 7-yard loss, there was 6.5 minutes to go in the game.
That was a bad decision.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're behind the sticks, and they ran Durham for 5, and then they completed a pass in the flats to Brown for 7 yards, and they ended up having to punt. The last drive, the first play was a pass. Now they start that drive with 3 minutes and 17 seconds to go. Again, they're still nursing the 7-point lead. After the pass to Sharp lost a yard, they ran Durham and made Clemson make their second to last timeout. And then they threw that little lob dump pass to Durham on 3rd down and was it 3rd and 11? Okay. So he's not going to make it, but they at least took a look downfield. You get a busted coverage, you get somebody run free. They're at least going to give Nussmeier a chance, and they trust your senior quarterback to not put the ball in harm's way. So you can dump it down to the back. Get what you can. Maybe he'll break a tackle. Who knows? But if everything's covered, tuck it, get what you can, get down, make the clock continue to run.
That was a one look check. I mean, he got rid of it back to Durham pretty quick. He had a guy that he wanted to go to. He looked, immediately went away from it and dumped it down.
And so then you put Dabo in a precarious position. There's 2:23 to go, and it's 4th down. You got one timeout left before the 2-minute warning. Do you take it there, or do you let it run all the way down to the 2-minute warning? You burn 23 seconds, but you keep that one timeout in your pocket. I would have probably called a timeout. They didn't. They let it run down to 2-minute warning. If it had been a field goal game, I would have let it run down, and I kept it in case I wanted to. You want to be able to use the middle of the field with the last drive. That's what keeping the last timeout does. So I understood the decision. I might have done it a little bit differently, but LSU didn't completely, just slam the ball into the line there those last 2 drives. They were still throwing the football.
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought that the play calling was a bit conservative tonight. We were trying to talk about how many deep shots did they take. And like I said, I got to go back and look at it because you're gonna judge them off, the options that were there. I don't know if they were taking away the deep ball. We didn't throw a lot of it tonight. But the one thing for me was Nussmeier was very smart in his decisions. He didn't play very risky.
They took one away. The one they threw and it caught, and it should have been a touchdown. They took that one away for damn sure. 499-9898 is the number to call. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day. LSU wins it tonight by a score of 17-10 at Clemson. 499-9898 is the number to call. Nathan is still at Clemson on the Hooters hotline. Nathan, welcome into the show.
Hey, guys. We're just headed back, almost to Atlanta now. Headed from the Timu Death Valley there. Enjoyed it. Had a lot of nice fans. Not much taste. A very nice place. But I had a question about the play, the other reviewed play of the night, where it was called incomplete on the field. They reviewed it, somehow overturned it. They did not show a shot in the stadium where you could actually see the ball to overturn that play, and I thought they needed indisputable video evidence for that. I don't know what they showed on TV, but I was wanting your thoughts on that play. I'll hang up and listen.
Wait.
What's it,
Remind
Clemson or LSU?
What's that?
What play are you talking about? Remind me.
It was a play that Clemson caught. I don't remember. It might have been the second quarter. Clemson caught the ball, and his knee went down, and then the ball was stripped away by.
No, that was a catch.
Yeah, he was. That was a good call. His that's the one where Woodland stripped it out after he had hit the ground. Yeah. He had possession of the ball, and his knee was down. That was the correct call.
Okay, they never showed the shot where you could see the ball. So
yeah,
it was a hell of a catch.
Yeah,
he got his knee down, and
the coverage was good. And he caught it anyway. Okay, yeah, they got that one. Thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it. Max is in Baton Rouge. Max, welcome into the show.
Hey guys, I got 2 main thoughts for you. One, I think one thing we've learned about the transfer portal is it's not a sure thing. Just because you spend money, you could go 12-0 Florida State one year and you could go 2-10 the next. Credit to our staff. I mean, Gooden looks like a home run. Peyton looks like a home run. Mansour Delane is a home run. Both safeties played incredible. We've missed a lot these last couple of years in the portal, and we may have a couple misses this year, but not with those guys we started. Incredible job. Thank God Bryce Underwood left us that big pot of money to go spend. My second thought is a lot of people are complaining about the offensive line, and it feels kind of like a carryover from last year. Y'all, we had 4 NFL players with 400 started games last year, and we couldn't push nickels off the line. We had all new starters tonight. We rushed for over 100 yards. We got better as the game went on. It wasn't pretty, but I feel like some of this hostility against the line is kind of carried over for next year. They kind of balled for a brand-new team all playing on the road at Clemson. They're going to get better. I thought that was kind of a bright spot of the game that they held up as well as they did versus a defensive line with 3 top 10 draft picks, supposedly. But anyway, I needed that. My cardiologist is glad that game happened, and can't wait for the rest of the season.
Thank you for the call. I did think that they got better as the game went on, and I think they'll get better as the season goes along.
No, they're going to keep getting better. I think they're still trying to figure out that left guard. Paul Mega played pretty well. He had a couple issues, and you saw where they put back in Cohen Eccles in there for a little bit. And look, where the frustration from people come from is the traditional run game, and that's just something that LSU hasn't been good at in 4 years. A lot of that was covered up with Jaden Daniels because he scrambled and made a lot of plays with his legs as a quarterback, and most of them were scrambling. But what you can say is what Joe Sloan did tonight was a creative run game. We got Xavier Thomas in. You got Aiden. Nussmeier had a few carries. The traditional run game is something that we're going to continue to get better at, and I think that it's something they're not going away from. Obviously, we had 31 carries tonight, but kudos to the creativeness that put them in good situations.
Can I just say that I did 12 years of post-game shows with Les Miles as a coach, and not once did anybody complain about the run game. They complained about the pass game. So this is a nice change, really. They're not going to be
Our biggest run play of the night was a play that should have been tackled for loss.
They're not going to be a grinded-out 3 yards in a cloud of dust team. They're going to be a team that's going to spread you to run, and I think that Durham does a good job. I think that the guys behind him, Juwan Johnson, got way more touches tonight than I expected, and I was really pleased about that. But you didn't see very much of Harlan Berry, and I think you will later in the season. You didn't see much of Caleb Jackson tonight, and I think you might later in the season. So that'll be a revolving work in progress at run game, but I expect it to be a lot better later in the year than it is now. And I didn't think it was bad tonight. They kept at it. Like I said, 31 carries. That's going to keep you honest. 499-9898 is the number to call. Jake is in Grand Prairie on the Hooters hotline. Jake, welcome into the show.
Hello, fellas. How y'all doing tonight?
Good, Jake.
Well, first of all, let me just say this. It's nice to see the Tigers get the win in Hidden Valley, number one. Number two, the Clemson entrance in the stadium is the most overrated, overhyped thing I've ever seen in my life. Boring. Number three, how in the heck does an SEC official named Gotro miss a call like that of the touchdown pass? That's the most tentative thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's that on that. But it's good to see LSU finally win the season opener. They had great moments tonight. The defense looked outstanding. I see nothing but good things for this team this year. Bama went down. LSU won. Tulane won. Good day for the state of Louisiana. I'm going to hang up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jake. I had a good friend of mine call me right before the LSU game saying, please don't mess up my day. Texas lost. Alabama lost. Please, just don't mess up my day. I'm not having too good a day. Don't mess up my day. I wasn't there, so I can't speak to the experience.
I'll tell you, as a player,
but it's unique.
I would hate running down that hill.
That
would make me nervous.
I've been wondering if somebody bust their ass coming down that thing.
I would be so nervous,
cleats,
just in cleats, sliding down that thing. Like every time I watch it, I'm like, all those guys are pissed off. They got to run down that hill.
Well, and if you would think one time if one of them slips, trips, and falls, it's going to be like one of those bicycle crashes at the Tour de France. You know, there's going to be like 20
the pile
of them.
up after.
Yeah, but I'll give them. Nobody does what they do, and college football is about traditions, and pulling the buses up, and they get off right there at the front of the stadium. They go there, they go to rubbing on that rock, they go down the hill. Everybody goes nuts. Look, LSU's got the band and the 4 notes, and that's our thing. This is their thing.
We walk down our hill.
Yes, before in suits.
In suits.
Okay. Look, everybody's got their deal, and this is their deal. It's for them. I don't expect LSU fans to say, "Oh man, that's really cool." Like I think there's
the coaches always ran down the hill like Dabo does.
I think so. I'm trying to remember what Tommy Bowden did, or Danny Ford, or
start getting some of them older coaches. You got to
the overhead visual of the buses coming in is kind of cool. I can admit, being LSU people, that there are some other cool things in college sports.
Yeah.
Okay, Auburn's Eagles,
awesome.
Circling this. I think that's cool. The Vol Navy, I think, is cool. Okay, because it's just different. That's something that you don't see very many places. I thought it was cool. You guys went to Washington in 2009, where you're overlooking Puget Sound, and I think that's cool. But I wasn't there tonight, so I don't know. Let's see. We got one more, and that's Barry in Catahoula. Barry, welcome to the show on the Hooters Hotline.
Hey, I think everybody's touched on almost everything that I was going to ask about. Can I ask a quick question, if y'all don't mind, about next week in Tiger Stadium?
Sure.
It's been maybe, I don't think I went last year, but I went to a lot of home games, and sometimes, people go like by concession area and they'll smoke cigarettes or they'll vape in the stadium. I haven't looked up their exact rules, but what is the rules for like medicinal marijuana card holders?
I don't think you're going to be able to do that
in
the stadium. I don't think you can smoke either. Even in the concourses, you're not allowed to vape in the. I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to vape in the stadium. You're not allowed to smoke in the concourses. You can't. I don't think you can smoke in the concourses. I don't smoke, so I don't know.
Give it a shot if that's what you're trying to do.
Been a while. Okay, but I'm thinking no.
I would say that it'd be frowned upon.
Okay. Well, run. We're back. We're back.
I think you're going to get into the same trouble as the vapors as the. Yeah, I guess I don't know.
I don't think. Look, we've come a long way from. You don't have to sneak alcohol in the stadium anymore.
You can buy it.
You can just buy it. It's right there.
My mom used to call it her fourth quarter drink.
Yeah.
So she would put a little bit of bourbon in a Listerine bottle.
Okay.
And they'd never check it.
No.
So like her nerves, that was her fourth quarter drink. Calm herself down.
I don't know that I saw every way to sneak alcohol in the stadium, but I saw a bunch. Hats and boots and brassieres in the stadium seats. Back when you used to carry your stadium seat in there, you cut out the middle of the.
They got creative for a while. There was the boot flask. I mean, they had flasks in the shoes and the boots.
Yeah.
Now you don't got to worry about it anymore. You can go pay for that $9 beer.
Go right to the concession stand. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. Give you a stat check. We'll let you know what's going on in college football all day today, and give our game balls. That's all still to come here. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Stat check. Presented by Luba Workers Comp. Luba Workers Comp. Delivering genuine dependability.
Let's take a look at the yardstick. When you go through some of these numbers and you realize why we were saying, hey, when this was 10-10, it should have been a lot more than that. 25 first downs for LSU to 13 for Clemson. Total yards, 354 for LSU, 261 for Clemson. Passing, 29 of 39 for LSU, 246. Klubnik was 19 of 38 for 230 yards through the air. Rushing attempts, here's where you really get an idea of how LSU was in control of this game. 108 yards is not a massive total, but when you compare it to the 31 for Clemson, and 3.5 yards a carry is not dynamite, but compared to 1.6, it's plenty. Each team had 6 penalties. LSU's totaled 45 yards. Clemson's totaled 57 yards. 2 turnovers for LSU, 1 for Clemson. And the time of possession favored the road team, 37-10 to 22-50. Pretty good.
It's just a close game that when you read these stats and you get the feeling you had, like we felt like we were winning by more the whole time.
That was why I said at the end of the third quarter when it's 10-10 and LSU's driving and they would eventually score in that drive. But man, this game should not be 10-10. Nussmeier 28 of 38, 230 yards, a touchdown and no picks. Xavier Thomas 1 for 1, man, 16 yards. They ran. It was a nice little trickeration
solid
there.
QBR.
Yeah. Klubnik, we told you, 19 of 38, 230, no touchdowns and a pick. Caden Durham led the way for LSU on the ground, 17 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Thomas, 3 carries for 26. Juwan Johnson, 3 for 8. And Garrett Nussmeier, 4 carries for 2 yards, but 3 of those 4 carries produced first downs. Yeah. Adam Randall, 5 carries for 16 yards and a touchdown, led the way for Clemson. Well, I thought they had him stood up at the goal line. I thought they were going to keep him out.
I thought that was a big play.
I give him credit for powering his way into the end zone, but I thought they were going to stand
the
him
initial hit, I thought it was over. We got that 4th and goal stop, but he fought through it.
Cade Klubnik, 8 carries for 1 yard. Obviously, that's taken out the sacks, but outside of their 1 touchdown drive, he really did not hurt LSU with his feet. Aaron Anderson, 6 catches for 99 yards, including the 39-yard middle screen. Juwan Johnson, 5 catches on the bubble for 31. Barrion Brown, 5 catches for 25, plus the one they took away from him that should have been a touchdown. Caden Durham, 3 catches for 22 yards. Bauer Sharp, 5 catches, only 18 yards, but they checked it down to him a number of times. And Trey'Dez Green caught 2 balls for 17 yards and a touchdown, but also had 2 big pass interference penalties called as they were trying to guard him.
He now has 15 catches in his career for 5 touchdowns.
Okay, well, in the red zone, get it to him. Bryant Westco and T.J. Moore, along with Tyler Brown, all had 4 catches for Clemson for 66, 55, and 43 yards, respectively. LSU defensively, P.J. Woodland, West Weeks, Harold Perkins all had 5 tackles tonight. Woodland and Perkins each had a sack. And Perkins is credited with 1 sack here. I thought he really should have maybe had a
half a sack on it.
They're calling it a tackle for loss.
Yeah.
I guess because they considered Klubnik a runner on that play. The one where his knee went down, where he got the pass off.
It should have been a sack.
They may go back and correct this.
Yeah.
These are right out of the post game. Ronan Hannafin, 12 tackles for Clemson, and Sammy Brown had 11 tackles for the home team. LSU's Grant Chadwick, 4 punts for a 41.8-yard average, put 1 inside the 20. 2 of them were touchbacks. One of them, I thought the last one, he did what he could. That ball's down there. Woodland got 2 hands on it.
He had 2 of them. He had 1 hit at the 2-yard line that bounced in, and then the one Woodland just couldn't corral.
Yeah, 41.8 yards per punt, by the way, I think is exactly what he averaged at Middle Tennessee last year. Clemson's 2 punters for an average of 40 yards, and each of the 2 place kickers were 1 for 2 on kicks. Damian Ramos, they call it 52 yards is what they're saying. Plus a couple of extra points. He missed his second kick. Looked like he was cramping up a little bit. And Nolan Hauser hit from 42, and they lined him up from 62, but that was a pooch punt. Nice little job there.
When they were lining up for that, I was like, they're really about to do this.
Well, he hit a 58-yarder or a 59-yarder last year.
Yeah.
It was just plausible enough to think, well, maybe they'll let him do this, but no. And that is your stat check. We're back with the final college football scoreboard when we return. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day. The Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln College Football Scoreboard. Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln on airline under the giant American flag.
We start at the shoe where number 3 Ohio State beat number 1 Texas 14-7. Rough first outing for Arch Manning, 17 of 30, 170 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Julian Sayin also making his first start for Ohio State. He had a touchdown pass, but this game was dominated by the two defenses. Texas had two goal-to-go opportunities, 4th and goal inside the Ohio State 10. Did not score on either one of them. One of those was from the 1 yard line, just actually inside the one.
We had the QB sneak where he just got kind of slid back. Arch just had a tough one. I mean, he played really tight. It felt like it didn't seem like a typical Sark game. But they're still a good football team. They're going to figure it out. Texas
is going to be fine. I'm still fairly confident they will be in the playoff. And this was just a heck of a thing to ask to go. Your first game is your first. He started 2 games last year, but your first time as a full-time starter going to Ohio State, that's tough. Number 2, Penn State beat Nevada 46-11. Drew Aller, 217 yards and a touchdown. Number 5, Georgia spanked Marshall 45-7. Gunnar Stockton had 2 touchdown passes, and he had 2 touchdown runs. Number 7, Oregon beat Montana State 59-13. Dante Moore threw 3 touchdown passes for the Ducks. Upset of the day, Florida State, a 2-touchdown underdog, won by 2 touchdowns over number 8, Alabama, who looked absolutely listless today. And the story of the game, Tommy Castellanos, the transfer from Boston College, who said earlier in the I forget exactly when
they
he
don't
said
have
it.
Nick Saban to save him anymore.
Right. I don't see how they can stop me, and he was right. 16 carries for 78 yards. It just felt like a lot more.
Alabama, that just looked like a weak Alabama team.
It really did.
They were getting pushed around.
Number 11, Arizona State beat Northern Arizona 38-19. Sam Levitt, a couple of touchdown passes. Number 14, Michigan beat New Mexico 34-17. Bryce Underwood's debut, 21 of 31, 251 yards, and a touchdown for the Wolverines. Number 15, Florida. They'll be here in 2 weeks. They beat Long Island 55-0. DJ Lagway, 15 of 18, 120 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not sure exactly how deep he got into that game, but they were an easy winner today. Number 16, SMU beat East Texas A&M 42-13. It was Kansas State with a late touchdown to escape North Dakota 38-35. Avery Johnson threw for 318 yards and 3 touchdowns. Number 18, Oklahoma beat Illinois State 35-3. John Mateer, the high-profile transfer from Washington State, threw for 392 and 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma and Michigan next week in Norman. Should be interesting. Number 19, Texas A&M. Close game at the half. They busted this thing open in the second half over UTSA 42-24. Marcel Reed, 4 touchdown passes.
We're slinging it.
289 yards through the air. Number 20, Indiana beat Old Dominion 27-14. Number 21, Ole Miss beat Georgia State 63-7. Austin Simmons.
We're getting there. Week 1.
Week 1. Threw for 341 and 3 touchdowns. Number 22, Iowa State, no problem with South Dakota, 55-7. Rocco Beck, 3 touchdown passes for the Cyclones. Number 23, Texas Tech beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 67-7. Number 24, Tennessee beat Syracuse 45-26. It was Star Thomas running for 92 yards for Tennessee. Mississippi State beat Southern Miss 34-17. Blake Shapen, 270 yards and a touchdown for Mississippi State. They had a 21-0 advantage in the third quarter to break open a close game. Maryland beat Florida Atlantic 39-7. Purdue gets a win over Ball State 31-0 in Barry Odom's debut for the Boilermakers. Tulane beat Northwestern 23-3. First time a Big Ten team has ever played Tulane in New Orleans. The Green Wave win it by 20.
Wouldn't let them wear the white jerseys.
Wouldn't let them wear the white. You think it was because they're from Chicago and they figured it's going to be hot down there. We want to wear white. We don't want to wear a dark color.
I think some people just don't want to give in. That they're going to whatever they can to say that we're not going to give you something. They're not going to give them to them.
John Summerall was pretty steamed about it after the game. Pittsburgh beat Duquesne 61-9. It was Navy over VMI 52-7. Kent State beat Merrimack 21-17. Kentucky outlasted Toledo 24-16. For the Wildcats, Dante Dowdell ran for 129 yards and a touchdown. Boston College beat Fordham 66-10. West Virginia beat Robert Morris 45-3 in Rich Rod's return to Morgantown. UConn beat Central Connecticut 59-13. It was Louisville over Eastern Kentucky 51-17. Air Force beat Bucknell 49-13. Temple over UMass 42-10. Northern Illinois beat Holy Cross 19-17. Here's one for you. All the teams that Lee Corso coached won today. Northern Illinois was one of those. And he picked LSU to win the national championship. They won also.
Yeah.
Lee Corso Day.
He's on
college
fire.
Football. Liberty beat Maine 28-7. Arkansas over Alabama A&M 52-7. Taylon Green threw for 6 touchdown passes for the Hogs. Memphis beat Chattanooga 45-10. It was Iowa over University of Albany 34-7. Kirk Ferentz is now tied with Woody Hayes for the all-time winningest coach in Big Ten history. Virginia beat Coastal Carolina 48-7. It was James Madison over Weber State 45-10. Vandy beat Charleston Southern 45-3. 3 touchdown passes for Diego Pavia. Austin Peay beat Middle Tennessee 34-14. Western Kentucky over North Alabama 55-6. Arkansas State beat Southeast Missouri State 42-24. South Alabama over Morgan State 38-21. Troy beat Nichols 38-20. USC over Missouri State 73-13. Big bullies. Louisiana Tech beat Southeastern 24-0. LSU will see both of these teams in September in Tiger Stadium. Utah State beat UTEP 28-16. BYU over Portland State 69-0. Rice goes into Lafayette in the newly remodeled or half remodeled Cajun Field. They beat the Raging Cajuns 14-12. Walker Howard, his debut as starting quarterback for the Cajuns, rough outing, 10 of 22 for 88 yards and an interception. Texas State beat Eastern Michigan 52-27. North Texas blanked Lamar 51-0. Tulsa beat Abilene Christian 35-7. New Mexico State over Bryant 19-3. Fresno State beat Georgia Southern 42-14. Washington State beat Idaho 13-10. It was Cal over Oregon State 34-15. This is where Malik Murphy ended up at Oregon State. He had a rough day, though, threw an interception, 21 of 33 on the day. Oregon State only managed 15 points. Arizona beat Hawaii 40-6. Noah Fafita for Arizona, 161 yards and a touchdown. Utah, big win over UCLA, 43-10. New quarterback for Utah, Devin Dampier, threw a couple of touchdown passes and ran for 1. And Washington beat Colorado State 38-21. That is your college football scoreboard. Game balls are next. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Eagle 98.1 Game Day, presented by Super Chevy in Yingling. Game balls.
All right, Rich, you first.
Harold Perkins is back. It was fun to watch him run around, flying around. Very excited to watch him continue to grow this year and really take full control of that position.
Want anybody on offense?
I'll let you have them.
Think about it. Okay. I'm going with Aaron Anderson. 6 catches for 99 yards and the big 39-yard middle screen that got him going. It was first and 20. It was that ended up being a scoring drive. But it wasn't the only big catch he made tonight. I thought he was really good. 6 catches for 99 yards. And on defense, I'm going with P.J. Woodland. 5 tackles tonight, including the sack. He also had a pass breakup. And I thought he was really, really good. We liked him last year.
Yeah.
We said, okay, he's just going to continue to develop. And he had a whale of a camp. And it was one of the disappointing things last week when we found out about Halsey was, hey, listen, if you'd have known about this, you could have put Woodland in and played Delane at safety if you'd have needed to, because he's capable of doing that, but not without any practice time. That's why I was so
I'm going to give the O-line as a unit game ball. I mean, 1 sack, 2 pressures. That was the biggest question going into this offense, and I felt like they held their own.
Those are game balls. LSU wins on the road against a top 4 opponent for only the 5th time in program history. So let me give you these games because I remember them all. October of 1982, they beat number 4 Florida in Gainesville. That was when the Dalton and James gang. Dalton Hilliard and Gary James were really starting to come into their own. That was an Orange Bowl team. Alan Risher, my former co-host here on the show, was a quarterback on that team. That team ended up in the Orange Bowl. They beat Florida in October 24-13. The other three games before tonight were all against Alabama. One in 2005. That was an overtime game, and I believe that was Dwayne Bowe. That back of the end zone in overtime from Jamarcus Russell.
I was in Perkinston, Mississippi on a junior college visit watching that game in the dorm room.
You went on a visit to a junior college?
It got me away for the weekend.
Okay.
I want to go see some buddies I played with.
The 2011 game against Alabama, the 9-6 game, the game of the century that everybody remembers. And, of course, the Joe Burrow to a Tagovailoa game in 2019. Those are LSU's other 4 wins against top 4 programs on the road. And then tonight, 17-10 against Clemson. As always, thanks to Todd Politz, the stat master, for providing us with that one. So we will take a final break, come back, wrap things up. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. It was worth the wait. It's been a long summer and a big ramp up to this game, but nobody is disappointed. LSU wins it by a touchdown, and I think we all feel like they were clearly the best team there tonight, and this is just going to get better. This is going to be a fun season.
We got a defense again.
Got a lot of depth, some exciting players. You feel like you won tonight and you didn't unleash everything that you've got. So now you come back for the home opener. Should be hopping here next week. You're going to be a significant favorite, obviously. And Florida will be here in 2 weeks. And you feel like this season's gotten off to a fantastic start. And you can really kind of build some momentum. That offensive line will just continue to get better. That defense was lights out tonight. It's the return of Harold Perkins. This was just a tremendous performance. You feel you got to feel real good if you're a Tiger fan right now.
You haven't felt this good to start a season. I mean, look, in 5 years,
19,
and I haven't watched an LSU game where the defense performed like that since 19. So everything that we're seeing, the offense, we're going to see that offense get better each week. The offense line's going to get better. They're going to figure out the parts and pieces that get into it, and you got a lot to be excited for.
Slight alteration to the schedule because of the Labor Day holiday. We will work a full day on Monday. All of the local shows on ESPN Radio will air, but there will be no Brian Kelly press conference that day. We're going to move that to Tuesday, so we'll air that as a part of Live at Lunch, and we'll be on the air at 10 o'clock, Jimmy and I, on Tuesday, and we'll do the press conference that day. Handicast coming back we'll drop that next episode on Tuesday night. We'll have film study. We're going to give you an extra day this year to go through all of it. So we'll be dropping those episodes on Tuesday night. You can go back and check out our preview. A little dated now, but that is on YouTube. And we'll have the film study coming up on Tuesday night. Final score once again: LSU 17 and Clemson 10. For Richard Dixon, I'm Charles Hannegriff. From all of us here at the flagship, saying thank you. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your Labor Day weekend. This has been Eagle 98.1 Game Day.